noticed something strange while waiting for the subway. A shriek echoed from deep inside the tunnel. Everyone turned to look. As the unknown creature slowly approached, the gravel on the tracks began floating in midair. Dread washed over me. I sensed something was wrong and got ready to run, but it was too late. The first to change were those who looked directly at the creature. Their eyes began to mutate. There was no panic. People just moved forward in silence. The crowd slowly pushed me toward the edge of the platform. Danger was closing in. The train blared its horn desperately, but no one moved away. They walked forward with calm faces. I shoved people aside with all my strength. In the last second before the train hit, I barely escaped. When I ran out to the street, chaos was already everywhere. I didn't have time to think. I rushed to the school like a madman. The teacher was already gone at the podium. The kids were huddled in terror in the corner. I had no time to comfort anyone. I found my daughter in the crowd and immediately ran for our lives. To shield her from all of this, I covered her head tightly with my jacket. Soon we met up with my wife. Seeing us safe and sound, she was overjoyed, but then tragedy struck. As she went to get the car, a speeding vehicle hit her hard. Just a few months later, the whole city became a silent ghost town. People ended their own lives in terrible ways. The beaches were covered with the fallen. The creature had the power to capture human minds. Anyone who laid eyes on it would instantly go blank and lifeless, and then end their own life. Only a few survivors escaped underground, living like rats in total darkness. But with supplies running out, people turned violent and desperate. They fought brutally over a scrap of bread. To survive, we had to risk going outside for food, but only with our eyes covered, feeling our way through the ruins like blind men. My daughter and I wore ink-blackened goggles. We looked at the desolate city before us. We had nowhere to go. Then we heard sounds in the distance. Another group of survivors was out scavenging. They used a shopping cart to lead the way, with a spool mounted on top and a long rope trailing behind. That's how they kept track of their path, so they wouldn't get lost out there. I whispered a few words to calm my daughter. Then I called out to them. I told them I hadn't eaten in days and begged for some food. But Jack, the leader, turned me down flat. His companions urged him to keep moving. For my daughter's sake, I quickly offered to trade generators for food. They stopped when they heard that. I told them I'd found several generators in a building, but the equipment was too heavy. I couldn't carry it alone. I knew the location. They were tempted. They'd been living in darkness for so long. They longed to light even a small lamp. Just as they hesitated, a sinister wind suddenly swept up behind them.